Good morning to everyone. This is Dr. ANIL Kumar SAHU, Associate Professor ECE. Now, today we are going to talk about very important topic, that is sponsor projects. This is the problem which everyone is facing for writing the projects in academia, like sponsor projects, grants. So now we will give a quick insight about the sponsor projects and grants. So now, before going to start about the project grants, now let you have to see what should be, where should be, in 360 degree we will do the analysis of category of funding agencies. So if you can see that overall major consumption, major funding agencies are external government, that is 38.6%. then after you can see that is national governments 17.5. So 17.5 national government, external government 38.6, and remaining major contribution goes to the external non-profit agency 7.2, and after that you can see there is external charitable agencies, and then state government agency 3.6, then state university and other national universities is there 2.4, and transnational organization is there, and external universities having 9% over here. Now come to the funding agencies in India, right? So we are going to be interested how we can write successful funding proposals. So these are the some tips which is very important. So come up with the unique idea whenever you are going to start the writing the proposal. Come up with the unique ideas and find what kind of funding opportunities are there based on your matching idea, matching proposals. So understand what the agencies, funding agencies where you are targeting. You have to have the clear idea about the background informations about the funding agency. If it is DST, if it is AICT, if it is ACRBs, whatever the funding agency is there, you need to have the background information. You need to write the technical portions very clearly. You must have the technical contents. The technical must content having, I will give the separate detail what should be there in the technical portions. Make sure that your administrative part are in the order, and submit it and forget about it. You have to think about the unique idea you have. Now you can see that in this proposal time management, once you are writing the proposals, there is in the 25% and 25% total 50%. 25% looking for the right side, looking for the funding cost like 20%. Then planning for the proposal, it required time management around 25%. Now you can see you are having administrative part, which is approximately 10% of total work, and submission it will take around 5%, right? So we can see now we have different time budget, time management. So basically your technical writing skills, it will take 35% of your major concern area, major concerns, right? So here you can see now in this particular area, you can see that your writing of technicals require 35%, planning of the proposal required 25%, looking for the funding cost required 25%, 10% is administrative work, and 5% time goes to submission of proposals. So now what is the funding, what is the fundable grant ideas? So right, so what is fundable grant ideas? So you have to give the answer, think the answer, why is this interesting, and who will care about this your research proposals? So you have to think, if you are writing the proposal, who will be the actual beneficiary or beneficiaries, and if it work successfully, if you have proposal is work and in the form of product, who will be the beneficiary, the societal benefit, you have to think. Now how crazy is the idea, you have to think. If your idea must be craziness, how crazy is your idea? You have to think why I am the best person to do these project proposals. You have to think that do you have some backup, do you have some research experience, previous research experience, any writing skills, do you have some technical skill equipped which is required to propose the proposals? Do I have a time and resources to do for it? Now you have to look for funding opportunity. Look at who are or which agency funds are having the similar research. You have to think about this. Then you have to see the scan of for available calls. You have to be willing to cast the wider nets. You have to see use the you have to use the funding research tools. Keep your mind always open whenever you are seeing the funding opportunity. Read all whatever the calls, why it is why, what kind of calls are there, what kind of requirement is there. You have to read the calls again and again and understand is that basic research is required or applied research is required. If you are having the realistic about the time it take to write the proposal for grantings, then you have to see do the thorough literature survey has been done for particular proposal, the topic of the idea or research. You have to, once you are writing the proposal or review, you have to assume that your panel do not know anything about your work, but they know everything about your work for your competitors. So do the expert panel members to be expert in your fields. So if you want to write a proposal, you should go through or cite your research, cite the papers which is having the more citation in that particular proposals and or a research or a paper, something like that. Put your idea in the right perspective for them, so that to clearly understand about your projects. So have a rough reality check before starting the work. You should think, you have to think about task versus time. You have to identify what is your task and how it will be fulfilled, what kind of sequence you have to follow, so that the time for its proper execution of your proposals. You have to think about what are the write down the resources list which is required for writing the proposals. You should have a rough budget and check that your scope, whatever you are saying, that will be match your resources or not. Then you have to think your delivery. Can I do this work on the time or budget? If the starting time or if not, start thinking about hiring additional people. If you are unable to do this particular project proposal, and you have to add the budgets for JRF, SRF and RA, this provision is there in your funding proposals. So contingency also you can add in your proposal. Allow for the time to procure different equipments and hire the peoples. So also consider equipment down time and other contingencies which is required. So writing the, this is very important, writing the technical portions. You have to think about your outline, what should be the outlines, right, what should be the right, writing the technical portions. You have to think about what are the things you need to require. Like this, suppose you want to write the proposals, then this is required. Like your proposal having significance of titles, you should have the problem statement, you should have the objective, clear cut objective of your proposals. You should have integrating your research with existing knowledge. Then you have to propose the hypotheses and predictions, and then what method you are going to be solved compared to the existing method, what significance outcome you will get. You need to cite the literatures. You need to identify what should be the overall summary of your proposal. Then you have to clearly mention what should be the budget, and what should, and you have to give the budget justifications and other funding informations. And you need to add appendix, and if possible you need to add the table of contents. So these are the writing part of your proposal that is required. Now come to this, right. So once main question to be answered in the proposal whenever you are writing in terms of this subset, what problems you need to address, this content, this must be in there. Why it is important, who will be the beneficiary, who will care all about this, what have you done, have you do and others done up to now to address this problem, why it is not it been solved yet, why it is difficult, how do you plan to address it, why do you think you will be succeed, what is your hypothesis, what is your work plan and milestones, how you will measure the sources success in terms of publications, patent, photograph, prototype, pilot plans, and manpower thinking like training like PhD and etc. So clearly you have to be right about target technical person who is not an expert in your field. Our committee members, if you have a preliminary data like means highly recommend, like make sure that your reviewer reader know that it is your data. Outline of your hypothesis must be clear. Outline the experiment, modeling, product, process development you want to do, that must be clear. Think about your reviewer, and it must be old and experienced persons. So you have to use new time Roman 12 font size, 1 inch. Keep of each sentence, keep highlight your key points, but do not make different messes. Do not make a mess. Write a review for reviewers. Think what question they will raise and answer them. Address all the review criteria. Some tips for in the following slides. So if you are writing the literature or giving the proposal, you should mention the significance of the result is. Here you have to give the significance of your proposed work. The feasibility of this proposed approach is demonstrated by. You have to give the significance. The outcome of this research of the experiment will be. You have to give the statement whatever you want in your proposal. The innovation of this project is defined by. You have to define your innovation of the proposal here. The potential for the transformation by this research is evident by. Here you have to write down your criteria. Our team is especially well equipped to undertake this project because of. You have to give the reasons. The proposal will advance knowledge and have the broader impact by. You have to give the reasons here, and any other you feel suitable you can give right down here. Now see the other side. You should don't assume that everything will work. If you write the proposal, it will right, it really does, but you have to try. So identify and do be to be honest about the risk of negative side of your idea, whatever you are going to be proposed for your research plan or proposal plan. Include the discussion about this risk. Propose a mitigate measure you shall be undertaking. So now you have to pay the special attentions of your figure need to be clear, informative, self readable, and very high quality, and also a milestone like timelines or a Gantt chart or PERT chart, and correct reference must be included over there. Then you need to take care about the administrative part, right purpose and right budget, including overhead. A certain percent overhead means certain percentage of total budget as per the norms, right? So be frugal but realistic. Don't forget to write detailed budget justifications from where you will take, like what kind of equipment required for the budget, right? For budget, you have to give the like quotations and all, everything you need to be included in your proposal. So if you have some contract, or make sure that their budgets are in the proper format. Follow the right format by funding agencies. Whatever the formats are provided, you follow the that format. If other institutions and R&D centers are involved, give enough time if in the paper for from their end. So your proposal must be almost done if your desk ready. Then you have to decide PI, co-PI. So, you should have the all these things. Now these are the ACRB grant at the glance. So ACRB giving the funding support for startup research grant, core research grant, national missions on interdisciplinary cyber physical streams, NM, ICPS, technology, innovation hubs, TIHS, ACRB science and technology award for the research, matrix. Then informative international traveling supports, ITS associations, assistant for professional bodies and seminar symposia. All this R&D support, they are providing the funds, and then they are having different fellowship like JC Bose Sessional fellowship, Ramanujan fellowship, different prime ministers doctoral and overseas doctoral and postdoctoral. Right. So now these are very important websites for writing the proposal. Like DST is very important of them, right? DST and ACRBs, ACRB onlines, nano missions. NEB, NRTM, State Council of State, SNT, International Corporation, NSTMS. These are the important website where you can apply your proposals, right? Other than that, you are having Ministry of New and Renewable Energies, right? You are having Ministry of Mines, Central Power Research Institute, Board of Research and Nuclear Science, Defense Research and Development. You are having the ISROs for the supporting agency. Other than that, you are having Ministry of Earth Science, right? Ministry of Environmental, Forest and Climate Change, Department of Biotechnology, DBT and CSIR, UGC, AICT. One can personalize the research for his funding emergencies. You can write the proposal based on these schemes. So these are the additional source for the foundations like professional associations and societies, non-profit organizations. All this information is required whenever you are targeting any sponsored or funding projects. So hope you guys you like this particular information about the research proposal and fundings. And thank you so much. And if you like my video, please like, subscribe. Thank you.